game of the day done and dusted. Let's head to our second one, of course, a highly anticipated one. But first and foremost, a happy new year to all. And it is your Philippines Football League 2025-2026 action. We've got Maharlika and Kaya FC Iloilo squaring off right here. Match number 54 already. We are past the holiday break already, nearing the halfway point of the season to be precise. Clara Manzano here alongside Jing Hamlang and plenty of storylines, Jing. I'm sure we're expecting these players to put in that extra work to maybe shake off some holiday rust, but there's already a lot up for grabs right here.
Really, they need to hit the ground running today. Claro, it's so great to be here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium alongside you for this massive game. It really is a big one between Maharlika FC and Kaya FC Iloilo, with really big implications in how things will transpire in that magic six at the top that is will make you eligible into the championship round. This is a big one, especially for Maharlika FC, who are a team that are looking to shake things up now as a side that is from, I should say, a side that has historically struggled in the PFL to being a bona fide contender.
And as we speak, Maharlika, in fact, inside the top six alongside Kaya FC Iloilo. But let's get furthermore, of course, with Maharlika. And with that, of course, they are now a far cry from that developmental squad that we'd always talk about, with that unconventional setup back in the day where they're just happy to be here and recruit players, give them opportunities. They've beefed up over the years. They've got that muscle now. Here's that form of theirs.
And when you look at it, it's the most recent result that really speaks volumes of what Maharlika is all about this season. A 3-1 win against Stallion Laguna. And it's not just the result, but the manner in which they were able to get that result that really impressed and really shows that this side that Moon Hong has put together and has really shaped and formed now is a side that is going to be a real contender. They're a legitimate side that is going to be difficult to beat, and what better test than the defending champions?
That was a grit and grind win, but you could say maybe that is Maharlika FC football, come to think of it now, given that they've been able to give us impressive results here and there. I will say also they were figured in close losses against fellow big guns, do you say, or do you even call them, do you call them higher ranked teams? They're able to show us sometimes when they don't get the result, they can hang with the big boys.
Yeah, the losses against the Gig, for example, just a 1-0. The outlier in all of the results perhaps was the defeat to Cebu Football Club, which was a 4-1 defeat. The rest were close games, even if they were on the wrong side of things. So it goes to show that Maharlika is extremely competitive, and the way that they have been going about things has been truly impressive, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they match up against this Kaya FC Iloilo side.
And in terms of players to look out for right here for Maharlika FC, we were able to narrow things down on one man, but he's not essentially that lone person, of course, here who will need to deliver, but just one of the many. But he is also their captain and has that extra responsibility. It has to be Dean Ibarle for many reasons.
I love it. Major Dean Ibarle, he has really made a new lease of life in his career, now being deployed in midfield. He's been a defender for a long time, and Dean Ibarle is a man with a lot of high expectations. As a young man, he was part of the Little Ascals group, and it's great to see that he is still continuing to play at the highest level in the Philippines. And this season in particular, parang nagbago yung career trajectory niya, where we really see his quality, his vision, and his experience really be highlighted. And what an opportunity here, because it's going to be a tough midfield battle that he has today. And if he's able to shine today, it's going to really boost his stock as a player.
And here's that formation of Coach Moon Hong. It's actually 4-4-2. But we've seen them also utilize the 4-3-3 in this campaign so far.
And it's going to be a big challenge, as we mentioned, with Opong in the middle alongside Ibarle. That midfield battle is going to be so key. And of course, they've lost Yung Suk Kang. That's a big one, right? He was a key part in a lot of the good things that were happening in this first round. Without him now, as well as Chima Ozoka, the responsibility falls to the likes of Ivan Owano, Ibarle, and Opong to really pick up the slack. So we will see how they are able to, hold their own here against Kaya.
And an opportunity, of course, for these players to step up and establish their positions in the starting 11. But let's head over to KFC Iloilo, our title holders, as we know. And this team did not play their last games just in the PFL in last calendar year. They also had their hands busy with the AFC Champions League too. And they were really tested. But, this team continues to be pushed. And this is an opportunity, or you could say, this is where they can deliver the goods now after all those trials and tribulations.
They're in unfamiliar territory at the moment. In recent years, they've really raced to the lead in the standings and they've held that position all throughout. This time, they're in third spot right now after dropping those games against Manila Digger and won the gig. And you would consider this match against Maharlika FC as a key fixture for them in a match against a fellow top 6 side. So in order for them to get back into the position that they want to be, this is a must win for them. So it's a big test, particularly since there's been quite a few outgoings in this particular transfer window. No more Kinshiro Daniels, no more Simone Rota for them. They've lost their left-sided defender as well. So, Gavin Muenz is gone as well. So, these departures leave a bit of a hole in their squad, and they're going to want to be able to come together and regroup here after the break.
And that player who departed also, to add to that long list, Magnus Round, who did get to contribute a lot also in the end of last calendar year. But in terms of players to look out for, of course, he is being thrown up front, but he does not shy away from opportunities like this, because Martini Ray is already a veteran of the local scene, and he's been with Kaya for quite some time already and is very tenured in the university or collegiate ranks.
You can see in the squad of Kaya there is a gaping hole in the striker's position, and Jerry Martini Ray is listed as a midfielder, but he is a versatile player, and he is going to be playing up front where he has had experience in the past, but to do it at this level is going to be a different challenge. So it's going to be a huge responsibility on his shoulders, but he is going to be boosted by the fact that parang meron silang new signing, although we don't have any bona fide new signings to introduce. Shuto Komaki is back, and he is a big player for them. He's coming back from injury, and as we know, Shuto Komaki is a great provider of, balls into the box and getting you into dangerous spaces. So, he will be helped by that addition.
Shuto Komaki was injured in the first game of last season, or in the first half of the calendar year, and missed pretty much everything else, including their AFC games. So it's a start from the get-go in that 4-3-3 of theirs.
Yep, and Kaiju Yamazaki holding down the center of defense for them. He has been earmarked as the key player to watch by the opposition coach. He's saying he is where all good things transpire from or originate from in this Kaya FC Iloilo squad. So expect that he's going to get some added attention today in this contest. Otherwise, it's business as usual for Coach Yu Hoshide. That 4-3-3 has been in place for quite some time, and I don't expect too many surprises in their style of play.
Well, as we know, of course, this Kaya unit is very, very intact over the years. Of course, they bank on that chemistry and familiarity with one another. That's the formula that's been working for them. And that's the reason why they've been very successful as of late. But as we know, and as we say, that formula is being tested right now because they're in an unfamiliar spot at third. That's how high expectations are also, because when you look at the previous seasons again, they're always number 1, number 2, bagging wins. They even had a 40-plus match unbeaten run in local play. That was also snapped last year. So you see the threats already looming here, looming there, and it's Maharlika who are very hungry, I am sure.
Yeah, it's a whole different challenge, trying to make your way to the summit. It's another thing to keep everybody out from reaching your spot. And right now, the beautiful thing about this season is that it seems as if the challenge to keep that position is more difficult than ever before.
And with that, of course, we are closing in on kickoff. We've got Maharlika FC and Kaya FC Iloilo in match number 54 at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. And thank you for joining us on the Facebook and YouTube pages, of course, of the Philippines Football League. So we are going to take it now to the pitch for the pre-match ceremonies.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let us welcome the teams of Maharlika Football Club and Kaya FC Iloilo.
On to our toss coin right here, and let us also introduce our match official. Si Meliton Pelayo ang referee natin ngayon at ang kanyang assistants ay si Relly Balila at Aldos Mirafuentes. Si Rodney Labla ay ang fourth official, si Christian Dale Soriano ay ating referee assessor, and ang ating match commissioner is Mr. Jeremy Mark Aguila. Tara Manzano here alongside Jing Hamlang. Maharlika will be in blue and black. Kaya will be in yellow and white. And other than the different changes here and there in our respective squads, Patrick Dato is getting another appearance after making his return from injury. He did make one appearance in the PFL level just before the break. And here is that formation once more of Coach Moon Hong.
Kenry Balobo in goal for Coach Moon Hong. He faces his former side alongside former Kaya players as well in Dean Ibarle, Michael Menzi, and Eric Giganto. And a big opportunity today for Ivan Owano up front, finally getting a start and being entrusted to lead the line for Maharlika FC. Scoring a goal against Kaya would be big for him. And it is a big test. This is a side that does not concede many goals.
And the standings will sure get shaken up should Maharlika bag a squad. But let's take it back again to Coach Yoshida's crew, playing in a 4-3-3 as we know.
Massive for them to keep Mike Ott in the team. He has been delivering not only goals but plenty of assists. It's going to be a big challenge today for the veteran Marvin Angeles, being entrusted to be amongst that midfield three today. And he's going to have a tough assignment. And we'll see how he does alongside Esso as well as Mike Ott. Substitutes, plenty of talent on the bench for both sides.
And with you mentioning there are plenty of former Kaya players with Maharlika, there's also Brandon Zambrano. His previous stint for championship to Kaya is the very team they are facing now in Maharlika. Martini Ray will kick off this match as we are just awaiting the signal from our referee Meliton Pelayo. Shuto Komaki. New year? New hair? Ano yan? Bagong ano? Or New Year's resolution?
It's yeah, a whole new period in his career. Shuto Komaki was a standout, not only at Kaya, but for the entire league not too long ago. But that injury really sidelined him for a long time, and we all know his quality, but after being away from the game for that long, there's always a question mark in what kind of impact you will be able to have in a match.
As we know, iba pa rin talaga pag training compared to a game. And they will send it long. They couldn't play to Shuto. Eric Giganto wanting to send it to safety now, but it's collected by Marco Casambre. Yamazaki. He gets forward also and would be that playmaking center back, given that he would also play the central midfield role.
Naturally plays in that center midfield position. At least grew up that way. So you're expecting to have that range of passing and that vision.
Jan Meliza got dispossessed. Counter-attack now. Yamazaki with the slide. Casambre just did enough to knock it to the side.
Jin Yeon Kim was prowling on his shoulder. Crucial touch from Casambre, and a player down already. It looks like it might be Yamazaki actually who's taking a shot to the thigh. Certainly not a player that Kaya can afford to lose, especially this early on.
It's gotta hurt also when you get into situations like these where you're either coming off the holiday break or just starting a new season. He seems to be okay though.
Yeah, fitness is going to be a massive deal. Month off. If you're a team that has prepared well during the break, you'll certainly reap the benefits of it.
And Giganto and Fami Ibrahim were not on the same page. That's why they will yield possession back to the defending champions. Casambre gets it to Yamazaki. With you talking about Mike Ott also, with his influence, the numbers do the talking. In terms of goal scoring, he has 7 already in this season. 5 assists also, and that's all in 9 games here for Kaya.
That's incredible. It's an incredible output for a player, and a new player at that.
Dangerous ball from Diano. Komaki. Noni Arboleda. Floating it in. Almost got to Mike Ott actually, but there's the denial by Mike Menzi.
It's a tricky ball from Arboleda. He didn't float it up. It was kind of like a driven ball into the box.
Let's also point out that should Ori Menzi of Kaya enter the game, we could possibly witness the battle of the Menzi brothers.
That's always fun.
Always, always. Car rides with brothers when they're going to play against each other.
That one not so much fun.
I was gonna say it's unique. Both are outgoing. Maybe there'll be the Psy Wars already.
Traditionally, it's been a tough one for the side of Maharlika. Of course, you know, I believe they have faced nothing but defeat against Kaya for the last 9 times they've faced off. So, you know, traditionally, this has been a very one-sided affair. But this season, you get a sense that Maharlika are going to be looking to change that story.
As this one was stopped by the defense, it just goes the way of Kaya now with the way they've established control and position around the pitch. And in the last PFL season, Kaya did defeat Maharlika 4-1 the first time round and then 2-1 in the second half. By the time Kaya and Maharlika squared off in the 2-1 result, which went the way of the defending champions, Maharlika had already changed management and taken a new approach. Play will be resumed here from the middle, to be precise, on the left side of the midfield.
It's been very impressive how Maharlika have approached this season. It's a very young squad that they've built. They've put some very good pieces together, perhaps players that have been overlooked or underappreciated in their previous squads. And we're seeing them being able to unlock that potential in this current platform. And that's where we're seeing now Maharlika be so impressive, particularly in their positioning in the table.
And you could also argue they had to spring a number of upsets to make it to 6th spot. Martini gets it. Wants to get it to Maikot. And Park will get it out. Diana just putting the work in here. Gets it to Patrick Dato. But going back, these two teams squared off last February 22 in the year 2025. It was 2-1 for Kaya, as we mentioned. The goal scorers were Shuto Kawaki, Kaishu Yamazaki, and Chorel Aristorenas bagged the lone goal of Maharlika. Well, the man who assisted Maharlika's goal in Brandon Zambrano, as we said, is now with Kaya FC. Rilio Raza gets this from Menzi. You have an all-Filipino center-back pairing right here for Maharlika. Rilio Raza, though, really more of that central midfielder.
It goes to show as well, sorry to cut you off there, Claro, that Moon Hong does, value your ability to distribute from that center-back position. It's why Rilio Raza is seen as valuable in that center-back role this year. You saw there just a great pass in between the lines to get this attack started.
Giganto versus Casambre. Eric Giganto will try to win it and make Marco uncomfortable. Eric Esso takes a hit here, though. Is this going to be a card?
Certainly late. He certainly did not get any of the ball, and it's a decision to make for Meliton Pilayo.
Let's look at the replay.
The only saving grace, perhaps, is the lack of impact as he slid from quite a distance away. Now, Esso is still down here. I'm not sure how much pain he really is in. However, he's on the border of a yellow card, that's for sure.
You know how far Kang came from? He came from the tennis courts, which are being renovated here in Rizal Memorial.
He's going to be quite lucky to get away with one here, Kang, and he's going to know it. So he's right on the edge of a card. And given that he has not been brandished a yellow yet, it is likely that he is off the hook for now.
Maharlika also squad capable of making the game physical, as we've witnessed over the previous games of this season. Coach Yu Hoshide, as we got to see right before him, there was Coach Moon Hong. And other than the battle of the Menzi brothers, we also have, you could say, the East Asian influence between the two teams here. The Japanese influence with Kaya, not just because of their players, but also with Coach Yu Hoshide, Coach Moon Hong on the other side with Maharlika.
I spoke to Coach Yu Hoshide earlier, and he was, full of praise for Coach Moon Hong and the transformation that he has been able to create here. And he has seen, the Korean influence grow in Maharlika, not just on the sidelines, but with the players that they've injected. And, there's been a new level of organization and discipline that they now have to take on.
That is something, of course, that has been part of that new identity of theirs that we've been pointing out as that ball was offline. And what more with when Kaya did get to square off against the likes of Pohang Steelers. Pohang did say they wanted to get that win furthermore because Kaya's coach was Japanese. Because of that regional competitiveness, the rivalry. Coach Yu himself also wanted to win that one. Not just for Kaya in the Philippines, but for his country, of course.
And while Kaya will have fallen short in getting any results in the Champions League 2, you could see in their performances that they were very competitive with the likes of Tampines Rovers and Pohang Steelers, as well as BG. So you could see that, Kaya FC Iloilo, with a few tweaks, could be a force in that Champions League 2 level. But at this moment, they have some improvement to do. Right now, the Philippines Football League is proving that, they've got a challenge domestically now as well.
They'll have to step up their game to clinch spots again on the continental level. And Kaya, unfortunately, eliminated already from AFC Champions League 2 competition. Aurelio Raza just awkwardly headed. They somehow get this one out of the goalkeeper area. Kaya's players felt that was out. Casambre, he's been the ball winner here for Kaya as of late. Dato approving of that effort there. So they reset with him at the as that extra man at the back.
It's great to see Patrick Dato back out there. It's been a long time on the sideline because of that injury he sustained with the national team. And it's important for him to get these minutes. And you'd expect that, in some games, he will be more of a spectator, being as part of a Kaya FC Iloilo squad that holds on to possession very well. But I think in tonight's match, he's going to need to be very wary of the potential and the capabilities of Maharlika.
Dato got to play some minutes off the bench, actually, at least 20 right before the Christmas break. That was versus Garelli just last November. Maharlika stringing it together. Just cheaply given away, though.
They haven't quite yet found their rhythm going forward, Maharlika FC, but defensively, they are looking very organized, not allowing any clear corridors for Kaya FC to exploit.
Oh, but in some previous possessions or spells, you'd see Maharlika with the ball. They have the intention to pass it forward, but they just suck him to that pressure, and then they'll hit it to the back with Kenry Balobo in hopes of just regrouping. Casambre now to Eric Esso. Well, we've seen this. Eric Esso is actually their central midfielder, or that holding midfielder, but he'd drift out to the left and he'd stay close to Casambre and Yamazaki. Kaishu had a man on him, Edine Barle opts to hit the gas. The fall here, but it's a stop going the way of Maharlika, and their bench and their community applauding that.
It is fascinating to see this match unfold at the moment, especially in these early exchanges, because you see what the initial intent is from both sides. And it might be a bit difficult to appreciate through the lens of the camera, but we talked about formations early on, but basically those are being thrown out the window right now because both teams are not sticking to those formations at all. You talked about Esso peeling out wide. You saw Marvin Angeles was on the left flank now. They're trying to create overloads in the wings. And Maharlika FC, they're not staying rigid to their formation. They have been given principles to follow by Coach Moon Hong, and the players are looking very comfortable about following which players and which zones to protect.
Similarly, also, you have Ivan Oano up front, but he's really playing more on the left here for Maharlika, and then he'd also drop down to help out in defense. So it's more of that wing role for him. Now it's Maharlika who will look to dictate, given that they have possession. Romeo Opong. They had to knock this one back. Aurelio Raza opts to hit it long. Giano is looking to intercept, couldn't do so.
A ball.
This one low. Came off of Oano, cleared off by Noni Arboleda. Took a bit of hard fall. And came off also off him. Ended up in the wing here with Fahmi Ibrahim. He'll send the left-footed cross, going for the back post. Off of Giano. Then a whistle versus Oano.
Fantastic play from Maharlika. Really causing issues. First of all, great ball from Aurelio Raza over to that left side, and a better connection from Oano there. Could have been goal bound. This was definitely goal bound if it wasn't for Arboleda's intervention.
Maybe one of the closest chances in this game so far.
Ooh, interesting here. Arboleda just ran into Ibrahim.
This one is off ball.
Yeah. And it is going to be something to talk about. The fourth official got a very good look at it. It's going to be a yellow card for Arboleda.
That was just confirmed here now. coach or assistant coach or fourth official, I beg your pardon, Rodney Leble, had to assert himself also to Maharlika's team staff. Coach Yu Hoshide also, I beg your pardon, Jing, has been speaking a bit more in this game. We're only 13 minutes in.
This is rather uncharacteristic from Arboleda to be a bit emotional. You see Ibrahim blowing a kiss to Arboleda. This is looking like it's going to become a bit of a tasty affair now. Certainly these are the seeds that could blossom into something more a little later on.
16 minutes in, collision once more on the left between our two newfound best friends in Arboleda and Ibrahim. And I was just going to say, even after the incident in the half line, that the games begin.
Yeah, Coach Yu Hoshide is just trying to apply a bit of pressure here. He might have not gotten the whistle or the yellow card that he was hoping for earlier on when Essa was brought down. He's gonna speak here to the fourth official to let him know that you know, he's gotten 2 calls against him now. He's hoping that for a bit more parity a little later on.
Our referees definitely taking these mental notes. Things are just going to step up in intensity over the course of this one.
To be fair, Claro, I do believe that Arboleda did potentially throw a forearm into Ibrahim in that earlier collision that led to the yellow. So I think that was warranted, but it is getting a bit spicier now.
There was some holding there from what I saw on our vantage point in the grandstand as they hit it to Shuto Komaki. This is his game. Taking on his man there, delightful. Takes a fall, definitely not warranting any questions there. Eric Esso once more, getting into a collision with Kim. This is what I was telling you with Maharlika not being afraid to play physical.
It's what has made them so competitive this year. It's that they're fighters, right? They're gonna make every game into a battle. There's no easy out against Maharlika, not anymore.
Esso to Arboleda. Shuto knocked it back here to Noni. My God, outside of the goalkeeper area. Shuto Komaki, chance to cross. Left-footed and low. Just absorbed by Ibarle. They're trying to pass out of danger here. This could be very rewarding if they sort it out. It's onto the midfield now. Despite the progress, Coach Moon Hong wasn't happy with something there. Maybe expected better decision-making. Diagonal here. Casambre got in the way. Over to Park. Angeles. Off of Yamazaki. Menzi challenging Martini. FEU alumni going at it there. Raza just knocked it to safety. Some momentum now shifting the way of Maharlika. Commentators curse as I say that. It goes back with Kaya.
You see Maharlika playing out the back. Fantastic movement. And you mentioned that hindi pa rin masaya si Coach Moon Hong dun sa nakita niya because the ball could have been played quicker into Ivan Owano on the counter. And it's these standards that will create a new level for Maharlika. It's not enough to be just good enough. You could be better. And Maharlika have been really challenging themselves to reach those levels.
All part of raising the level also of Philippine football as a whole.
Great turn.
Kim gets to break free just like that. Very casual. He's on a different level. Off of Arboleda. Will Ibrahim recover? Has support from Kang. Ibrahim will hold up traffic for a bit. This one here just gifted to Patrick Data. A signature volley here. Shuto Komaki takes a hit to the face. Fami Ibrahim now on level terms with his good friend Noni Arboleda. Now gets his yellow. allegedly for a hit to the face to Shuto Komaki. Referee Militon Pelayo pacifying things now. We may see more cards. Even Patrick Dato has gone out already.
Patrick Dato just out there protecting his teammate, letting Fahmi Ibrahim know that that type of behavior is not going to be tolerated. Not sure if there was a hit to the face, actually. Well, there you go. The arm went high. It's more of a flick. Militon Pelayo now, he must feel that this game is bubbling. And he needs to be careful not to allow things to boil over. A quick yellow. He needs to regain control now because things are getting more and more physical.
I will say, or just to clarify, that's a bit of a flick, but that's game speed. That can hurt you, is that right?
Yep. Not sure it's going to have any lasting damage on Shuto Komaki, but nevertheless, warrants a yellow card. More than anything, it's to take the sting out of the game here because, yeah, you can see that tensions are starting to increase. You can see the frustration of the players starting to grow. And referee Militon Pelayo just needs to take the temperature down a little bit.
All that, and we are only 25% into this game.
I know, it's great.
And we still have another game later. I love it.
That's where those conversations from Coach Yu Hoshi, also is a bit of an investment with the officials, right? You want to have that talk with them to let them know you're not going to allow any more without any additional ramifications. So that yellow card came out very quickly.
Now there's Jan Meliza who clipped Kang this time around.
It's a challenge that was really very far away from the ball. It's, you could say, almost deliberate from Meliza to break up the play.
Sneaky, eh? A silent assassin.
A little bit cynical, you know, so that's certainly something that Militon Pelayo let slide.
And I will say Jan Meliza has been a bit silent in this game when it comes to contributions from him. He's playing his role, executing their plays, positioning out wide on the right wing. And with that, they have a throw-in.
It's a credit to Yunsu Park, who's keeping him quiet in that left-back position for Maharlika. It's not an easy task. Jan Meliza, very good player.
Chance now here, and they get to sneak one in. Our highlight player, Martini Ray, delivering. And I do not want to be the corner flag in that situation.
Fantastic goal from Kaya FC Iloilo. Caught Maharlika napping from a throw-in. And Martini, big responsibility on his shoulder today, delivering with the opening goal.
No, we are not taking anything away from Kaya, but they just got to sneak it in, as you said. We blinked our eyes. Kaya put the ball inside the goal.
I think Mike Ott, fantastic contribution from this one. He's been pretty quiet today. Let that ball bounce and then just putting it into the danger zone. Was that a touch from Martini Ray or was it an own goal? Let's have a look here. Nope, definitely Martini Ray, left-footed. Really, Raza just missing that one.
That's gotta hurt if you're the defense of Maharlika. And with the visions, or with the replay that we had, of course, we also got to see it in quad vision. Venue announcer David Yumol also confirmed the goal himself as he's in contact with our team on the ground.
You'll have to be disappointed if you're Maharlika. You've started the game so well. You've not allowed Kaya to create any chances up to that goal, really. And it's come from a throw-in. And a rather scrappy one at that. So, definitely far from ideal. And here comes another opportunity for Kaya.
Will Mike Ott pounce? Got to blow by Henry Balobo. Open goal. 2-0, just like that. Now you said it right there. Both goals actually had Mike Ott involved. I think he has the same New Year's resolution every year. Score goals or assist them.
He's got ice in his veins. My God, you can see it. He's bearing down on goal and just so cool. Gets past
for Kaya FC Iloilo.
the goalkeeper here and tucks it away.
Number 5.
But once again, it's self-inflicted here from Maharlika. It's a sloppy ball. It takes a touch off Menzi. And my God is where he needs to be, which is ready to punish Maharlika. And he makes no mistake.
Add a goal, add an assist to the tally of Mike Ott in this season overall. 40 appearances for the national team. You favor him in a situation like that where he gets to break free and only the keeper to beat.
Especially in the type of form that he's in at the moment. He's just brimming with confidence right now.
And he's showing us there's levels to this game.
There's levels to this league, and you're seeing it right here. These types of mistakes, maybe against different opposition, you don't get punished. But against the defending champions, it is a mortal sin. And this is a scoreline that does not in any way reflect what we saw in these opening 25 minutes. Kaya haven't really created opportunities, but they have a commanding advantage now.
Just 5 minutes ago, things were totally different when we were talking about the intensity going up in this game.
In fact, yung Maharlika pa was the team that had more of an opportunity, more threatening going forward.
They did have that quality chance also earlier. Casambre and Yamazaki just send it high. Kang will play it back to Balobo. Henry. That was read though by Eric Esso and put it back in a dangerous area. Mike Menzi has really been putting his body in the line also. And Shuto over to Diano. Here comes Maikot. Over to the right, Melisa. Took on Park. They got it to Shuto on the left this time around. Arboleda will join to support. Numbers down also for Maharlika. Only Eric Giganto was pretty much in the midfield, but also dropped back. Yamazaki says, hold on, let's reset. They did get to succeed by pushing Maharlika's numbers down. Arboleda. Giganto trying to carry this on after the clearance from Romeo. Casambre. Similar earlier, I think he just gave up the foul in that situation.
He's going to play a key role today. He's going to have a very good game, Jin Yun Kim. He's a crucial outlet for them going forward, and he's used his body well there.
Not too many free kicks also, when I recall, here in this game so far, especially in relatively dangerous areas.
Mukhang interesado, klaro ang Maharlika to take advantage. Even if it's from far away, they're piling the bodies forward.
That's just Dini Barley on the half line, ensuring that they have offside. Should Kaya pounce on the counter. Quality ball met with here. Romeo Opong. Gifted it though to Martini. Barley staying cool. Got to keep it forward. Romeo hit the deck. Diano. Melisa. And thanks to this 2-0 advantage, they can just slow it down and manage the game and come up with more opportunities. Later this evening, Manila Digger will be squaring off with Aguilas UMAC.
Another great game. Oh, it's so good to have the PFL back.
First game day of the year. Mabigat kagad yung mga laro natin. I'm not complaining. I'm pointing it out. Fall here from Owano. Owano was pretty much getting close to the 6-yard box already, but as we speak, Shuto Komaki and his crew bring it up quickly. Martini Ray drifts out wide. Numbers do not favor them here. They will wait for reinforcements. Melisa filled that space in the middle. Shuto playing it to Mike. Will try to exploit the space here. Fantastic stuff here from Kaya.
Angeles is down. He's going to need a bit of treatment. He took a full swing, basically, from Ivan Owano on that attempt earlier, and it looks like it's left the mark.
It's that right ankle that he is somewhat favoring. The Angeles twins actually just celebrated their birthday recently.
Marwin has been a mainstay here at Kaya for a long time. And you certainly don't want to lose him here. Just make sure that things are steady there in midfield. And it was his awareness of the danger and threat of Ivan Owano that's gotten him this knock. I was actually quite a bit surprised that Ivan Owano went for that strike. He was like a step away from it, but still decided he was going to go full swing. And he's caught a lot of Marwin Angeles and very little of the ball.
There's clearly that sense of urgency for Maharlika, especially with how they were looking so promising. Only for them to concede just like that. In their perspective, they could say, disgrasya yun. But Kaya, of course, as we know, and just bouncing off what you said, make a mistake, gift something to them, they're going to send that one in.
Definitely, Kaya more than happy to do that. We talked about them being involved on the continental stage. That's their experience on that level, right? Any mishap at all that you give to your opposition will be taken full advantage of. You certainly can't make those types of mistakes against Kaya.
Throw was taken by Arboleda. Well, Giganto was trying to desperately plead his case to our assistant referee. Felt it should have gone their way. Collision between Martini and one of the players of Maharlika.
Play on.
Shuto wanting to switch it here. Diano couldn't get it. Under pressure from Ibrahim, also from Park.
Definitely worth a second look, because that challenge was from behind. It was dangerous, it was late, but if he had gotten the ball, then it's clean. If he doesn't clip the player, it's clean. If he does clip the player, that's a yellow card. Let's have a look at it here.
Fine lines.
It looks like he got close to the ball. It looked like he might have gotten the toe on the ball. What's important there is that you make contact with the ball first. And it looked like he did.
Time continues to tick here, and our goal scorers again. Things opened up thanks to Martini Ray. Mike Ott also made it 2-0, and Ott was actually involved in our 2 goals so far. Pumsok Kang back on his feet. And the right back from South Korea had his previous stint with the military before jumping ship here to Maharlika. Bit of the shirt pull from Giganto. Casambre gave it to Dato. Showing us his technical ability. Ott got to get it to Angeles though, and Romeo with the foul.
Flow of the game has gone a little bit. A lot of these fouls making it difficult to get back that fluidity. But Maharlika need to be able to get on the ball and express themselves again. They can't afford to let Kaya dictate proceedings.
But so far, that's been the ebb and flow of this game. Eso just slicing through this one. Diano with his left. Clearly off target here. But what an effort. What a read from Eric Esso.
You see who was tracking him. It was Fahmi Ibrahim, right? It's what makes Kaya so dangerous. They're so tricky in the spaces that they occupy and which players occupy those spaces. I mean, he's a right back, Diano, but he's always getting into positions that threaten the attack.
Now it's with Meliza. Follow up, blocked by Balobo. Park to chase.
Should be 3, Claro. Should be 3, if not for the heroics of Kenry Balobo there. And again, self-inflicted from Maharlika.
Ibrahim cutting inside, hit it over to the left. Cross now, Owano. Couldn't get it on target though.
What a move from Maharlika. Reverse ball over to the left side. Beautiful cross. It's on a plate. Ivan Owano's got to hit the target there.
And easily and confidently secured by Dato. I believe Owano was not able to redirect that ball that went to him. It was essentially like a touch from a defender, sending the ball back to the origin.
Yes, and it was low enough that he might have been able to get a foot to it actually. And all he needed to do was touch it towards goal. And it's turned into a clearance. Tough one for Ivan Owano. Fantastic opportunity for Maharlika.
It's those moments that could haunt you, of course, not just throughout the game, also when you head to bed at night.
Oh, if he does not make a goal contribution tonight, it's definitely going to play on him.
Eric Giganto gave it over. Eric Esso able to accomplish the task at hand there.
It's a massive opportunity, not only because it's difficult to create chances against Kaya, but to put this at 2-1 at this moment in the game would have been huge.
Would have given Maharlika a lifeline for sure and up the intensity of this game. But even if it's 2-0, you love how things, of course, are being played at this intense level.
It just goes to show Maharlika is certainly still in this game. They pack a real threat.
Michael just reading the trajectory of that ball. We'll get it to the left. Shuto runs out of space. Cut back, couldn't connect. Mike Ott with that gravitational pull. The ball just seems to go to him. Yamazaki will knock it back. For those, of course, who just tuned in, it's 2-0 for Kai FC, thanks to Martini Ray and Mike Ott. Clara Manzano here alongside Jing Ham Lang and Kai FC Iloilo, the defending champions in yellow and white. Maharlika in blue and black. Don't you forget to give us a follow, of course, in our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. Also YouTube while you're at it, where you could catch this game. Fahmi. Romeo Opong.
It's ambitious. Difficult angle there to find Giganto.
Let's remember here, time is being taken off the clock. Kaya simply just depriving Maharlika with his chance to pile up some pressure. I'm sorry, I have to retract that statement. No sense of urgency from Maharlika. They just wanted to settle in that midfield block as Dato, Casambre, and Yamazaki were taking their sweet time at the back.
Dato and just reminding Maharlika, uy, kayo yung naghahabol dito, ah.
You're dealing with a veteran again, Patrick Dato. Just like Mike Ott, a national team veteran. They have plenty of experience also playing club football overseas. Also, don't forget about our TikTok account of the Philippines Football League. Find us at we are PFL underscore. I have no hangover actually from all the football that went on during the PFL break. Just fitting that the league is back. We had the SEA Games, right, where the Filipinas bagged gold. The U22 team made it also to the knockout stages. And played quickly here by Maharlika because they did win that. Shuto Komaki just dousing the flames there in that chance. Now it's Diano saying they want to slow it down. But hey, it's also World Cup year, Jing. Let's remember that. Also an Asian Cup year for the women's national team.
Just had the draw for the Hyundai Cup as well. So that means after the World Cup, we're going to have the Southeast Asian Championships. Oh boy, it's great. You know, football never stops now. It's fantastic that the Philippines is really ramping up our participation in domestic competitions and international competitions. And a huge opportunity for our players to really impress, you know, locally, continentally, as well as internationally. It's fantastic.
Zero complaints from everyone in the community. We are loving it.
And for the players here in the PFL, you know, it's a chance to impress. It really is. You might find your way into the national teams. And what a platform this is.
After all, of course, this is like a proving ground for Filipino football players. And what more, the league has been able to attract foreigners, of course, who essentially up the level here. As it's shaky from the back from Maharlika.
We talked about the transfer window being open. A few key players departing from these squads. A lot of these players making their way into really high quality leagues. It goes to show that the level of the quality of the players is increasing all the time. And you know, teams all around the region are taking notice.
When you say taking notice, of course, a number of players who get scouted to play in other ASEAN leagues also, or in other leagues around Asia, not just the region. I want to talk about it also. The draw of the Philippines in the Hyundai Cup. Halos parehas yung mga kalaban compared to the last edition, of course, as the ASEAN Championship.
I love it. You know, these are how rivalries are made, where, you know, there's a bit of familiarity between both sides, and certainly it's still quite familiar to everyone. The drama that unfolded not too long ago. Of course, the Philippines made it to the semifinals in the ASEAN level.
That magic right here, the Rizal Memorial Stadium, right?
Yep. They've done well again in the Southeast Asian Games, so you know the Philippines is eager to make their mark, not just as a contender, but as, you know, an actual winner in this region. We certainly have the capability to do it.
From what I initially saw, home games will be played here versus Thailand and Myanmar. Medyo kilala na rin yung mga kalaban. But back to the action. Real Uraza not on the same page here as Kang. The intention was there.
What Maharlika really wants is Fahmi Ibrahim more involved in the attack. He's been doing more defending than attacking as of the moment. Of course, he needs to play his role, and he does it very well in making sure that the team structure remains intact. But if they're able to hold on to the ball more, then they can get Fahmi Ibrahim more involved.
Well, speaking of Fahmi Ibrahim, the main man has been Maikot for Kaya, no surprise. But I'd like to think that yellow card that Fahmi picked up also eventually was potentially a turning point in this game. And we're only in the first half.
4 minutes of additional time.
You talked about Mike God, but you also cannot discount Martini Ray. He's been very good. You know, it's always a question mark when you feel like a player is being played out of position. But Ray has been extremely effective. Ooh, and he's getting into a bit of a scuffle here with Rilio Raza. Ooh, definitely a movement in the arm there from Ray.
Battle of the Filipinos, you could say. Martini Ray from Barotac Nuevo, Iloilo. Rilio Raza, Filipino. Grew up in the States.
But it's been physical between them. Claro, you can see off the ball, there's a lot of pushing and shoving, holding. That's the kind of player Ray is, though. He is a very physical guy. No surprise, he's from Barotac Nuevo, but he's also pure quality.
You see a play like that, you gotta look at Joven Bidik, his mentor, of course. Off we go on the counter. Yamazaki got into a collision. Park with a chance, taking on Diano. Romeo Opong flicked it back here to Jan Meliza. Shuto Komaki wants it in the middle to counter, met by Dini Barle. Amidst the chaos, it's with Menzi. But Dini Barle in Maharlika ended the 2025 calendar year on a high. Barle shut down Stefan Schrock. As you see, Kang tried to sell something there. Fami Ibrahim, that's what you were expecting from him also. Shot taken, but you have to face Patrick Dato.
It's a great stop. It's what we said earlier on. Patrick Dato is certainly going to be involved in some shot stopping today. And he was sharp there. Eric Gigante so dangerous in this type of territory. Dato saw it all the way.
And it will be a corner kick. We haven't really seen plenty of these in this game. It's been flowing essentially here between the two teams. We are having a commotion. There's Romeo Opong. I also saw Arboleda.
Maharlika. Getting involved in a few conflicts here. I actually like the idea of Maharlika making it more of a battle.
Essentially, I see Romeo Opong being the designated player. Bother Dato.
You see here, it's Angeles trying to shield Dato from any issues here. And Romeo getting his arms involved.
Here we go. Chance now for the corner. Eventually sent in after a delay. Easily collected here by the veteran goalkeeper. Over to Jan Meliza. Yes, Eric Esso on the right. Shoot to Komaki on the left. Opts to bring it now. Hits it to Eric. Dini Barle trying to stop him. And denied here by Park. Meliza getting involved. Shot and it came off a Maharlika defender.
Blistering pace from Kaya. Maharlika were sprinting back and they were still outnumbered.
I'm having to catch my breath there with what went on. But great action, as always.
But it was a great catch from Patrick Dato and great awareness to get the attack started right away.
And essentially, it leads to a Melissa corner kick. Now we are seeing corners at the end of the first half. But dangerous things happen, of course, when it's with Jan Melissa in the corner. That's the reason why they get it on target. Kenry Balobo and Marco Casambre getting into it. I believe Casambre was on the way also.
Diano's been yellow carded. Diano can't believe it, but he's gotten himself involved there.
I would like to see the replay of that one. Here we go. A shot on target, saved by Kenry. And Diano letting some words out.
Balobo was trying to get the game restarted quickly. He's running to Casambre, who held his position. It's really a lot of nothing.
It's linebacker, correct? I think Casambre was a linebacker in that situation.
That's the That's the shocking thing there is how little Casambre moved despite the amount of force that was being utilized by Kenry Balobo.
I'm sure he hits the gym. But there you go, halftime whistle. We've seen a lot, of course, here in the first 45 minutes, but it's 2-0 for Kaya FC Iloilo over Maharlika. And my God, and Martini Ray, the goal scorers as we head to the break. And please stay with us. Halftime at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and we've got Kaya FC Iloilo and Maharlika figuring in this intense one here, to say, of course, which is an understatement, but it's Michael and Martini Ray who've been able to make the difference maker, who've been able to make a difference so far in this evening.
Just a very short spell, Claro.
Yeah, exactly.
Just those 2 minutes, those 5 minutes where things went a bit haywire for Maharlika, and that's really been the story, the difference maker in this game, where otherwise Maharlika have actually, you know, asserted themselves quite well.
I was going to say, intense kaagad. It's like these teams do not have that holiday rust or anything. Fami Ibrahim earlier getting into things also.
This was the goal from a throw-in. Yun ang masakit sa Maharlika, medyo nakatulog lang sila ng konti. And you really can't do that against the defending champions. And then this one, the mistake. Pass back to Menzi was way too strong. He wasn't able to control it, and Mike Ott making no mistake. And that's the story at the moment.
When you look at the importance of this match right here, Maharlika needs to protect itself in the top 6.
You look back at that, it should be 2-1. You're right in front of goal there, Ivan Owano. Instead, it's a clearance instead of a shot on target. And that's a painful one. And Eric Ben Giganto coming close against Patrick Dato as well. Could have been 3, you must say as well. A great counter-attack there on that occasion. So it's been a good game. It's been a feisty affair. Lacking a bit of fluidity because of all the conflicts on the pitch. But the main thing is that Kaya have taken advantage of the moments that mattered, and they're got a good advantage here.
6 shots on target for them out of the 7 they've attempted, and only 2 corners, the ones that we got to witness in the end of this first half. The fouls at 13 already. You could say no surprise given the physicality that we got to witness in this game. But when we were looking at the chances of Maharlika, not essentially the shots, but they came up with more dangerous opportunities, but as we saw, they couldn't put it away.
But what I would say, Claro, this game is far from finished. It's far from decided. Maharlika, as you saw in those clips, that they have the capability to threaten this Kaya side. They can create chances, and they are robust enough defensively to keep this Kaya side out. They just need to be very careful about making silly mistakes. If they can cut that out and maintain their structure, their discipline, and the intensity in which they've entered this match, they can get back into this game.
And with that, I feel that for Maharlika to catch up, and maybe even nab the win, they're gonna have to play a perfect game. They cannot afford to make mistakes or take any bait here where they're egged on to get into some altercations here and there, because that essentially takes time off the clock.
100%. And Ibrahim is going to be a player that we keep a close eye on. He's a very important player for them. He is their top goal scorer, but he hasn't figured too much offensively because of his defensive work. And now he's swapped flanks, so he's going to be tracking Janjan Meliza and Mar Diano. Diano himself on a yellow. Going to be wary here because Ibrahim is now on his side, and you'd expect that Maharlika will be trying to find him.
So it is Kaya now playing from left to right in yellow and white. That's the defending champions. Maharlika in blue and black with possession, playing from right to left now. So the change we see here is that Kellen McLeod came in for Eric Giganto, a winger. But McLeod is a defender. So they shifted Nathan Rilioraza to the midfield, his natural position. And now it's Kalen McLeod who will play alongside Mike Menzie. Just one change.
It's an interesting one with Giganto getting a good shot earlier on, but perhaps did not influence the game as much as Coach Moon Hong would have liked. Getting Rilioraza in a more comfortable position will perhaps lessen the possibility of mistakes and allow him to distribute the ball a little bit better from midfield.
It's with Jan Melisa now, relatively quiet. But the team essentially does not ride and die on him, but you expect him to contribute well in this Kaya FC machine. And Fabi Ibrahim just figured in a staring contest earlier with Mardiano. Cutting inside now. Owano couldn't reach it. Able to recover though, does well here. He's taking on Arboleda. Shuto Komaki providing support. They will give this one back to Kang. McLeod and Menzie also providing themselves here as options at the back to switch. Park from Mike. Kim. Just 2 minutes in, you see the intensity, Jing. They're moving the ball around, but can it lead to something further, of course, here for Maharlika? We'll find out.
It's what they need more of, Maharlika. They need to keep possession and be able to make dangerous runs into the box and allow themselves the opportunity to express themselves here against Kaya. They have the capability, nakikita natin, that they just need to be able to step up to the plate and really, believe in themselves that they are able to pass the ball around the defending champions.
But thanks to that foul earlier committed by the defending champions, Maharlika, with this chance, it seems like they're going for a goal here with the way this is set up. But there's obviously the option to play your teammates who are lurking just at the edge of the goalkeeper area.
He does look interested in going direct. He needs to hit the target here so his teammates have an opportunity.
And Dato comes up with a better effort right here.
It's exactly what they needed. A shot on target. If Dato parries that into the box, there is a legion of blue shirts ready to pounce, but he doesn't. He does the right thing. He palms it out. Corner kick. It's a good hit.
Physicality inside the box, just the same, of course, from the first half. Angeles versus Romeo Opong.
It's perfectly legal as long as he doesn't use his arms.
Here comes the corner going for the back post. Header from McLeod, offline.
It's a crucial juncture in this game for Maharlika. They want to be able to score and score early so they can build from that platform to try to see if they can grab something from this game.
It's Maharlika searching for a lifeline. Makaya, if they do bag a goal, and of course come up with something, that's just going to be deflating for Maharlika's efforts. Yamazaki from Dato. Trying to get it to Jan Melisa. Second best there, of course, in terms of height versus Park. The first 15 minutes in this second half will be absolutely vital. Here's the Japanese connection, Yamazaki to Komaki. Back in the day, he had Shuto Komaki on the left and Daizo Horikoshi on the other side. Martini here. Komaki, flag is raised here though from our assistant referee.
Better defending from Maharlika. Track the runner, Shuto. Held their line. It's been a great start to this second half.
I feel, of course, the intensity is carrying on from the way we ended that first half. There was a lot of extracurricular activity, actually. But in the process of building up, we thought Maharlika gave it up, but it will stay with them. In traffic now, here comes Kim. Ibrahim. The technical ability here of the Koreans is just delightful to witness. The whip in the cross. Flag raised though on the other side, as we see. Offside is the call.
Offsides on both sides. Just need to watch your run. See here, he's straight just a little early, Opong. It's a good call from the assistant referee, Aldous Mirafuentes.
And when you look at the implications in this game, we did mention, of course, that this is big for our teams here who are out to make it to the top 6. The top 6 again, after 2 rounds where teams get to play against each other twice, will advance to that championship stage. And essentially, the 6 teams there will figure in a single round robin. And the interesting thing is that the results carry over. But at the end of the day, plain old football, whoever racks up the most points will grab the championship. More than the championship, as we know, there's also spots to play in the AFC up for grabs. The winner of the PFL in this edition, as Yamazaki gets hit from behind by Kim. The league champions will play in the qualifying playoff of the AFC Champions League 2.
Just really quickly here on Yamazaki. Takes a bit of contact from Kim. You see him come in there, it's knee to thigh. It's a painful one. And then you notice that medyo nakabalot dito yung left thigh ni Yamazaki. No? So it's something that is bothering him and could hamper his mobility in this game. He is a very key player for Kaya FC Iloilo from that center back position. He's a key distributor and a key cog in their defense. Yamazaki is not a player they can afford to lose.
McLeod wins this one versus Martini. But please correct me if I'm wrong. I did not see that left leg bandaged in the first half.
Yes, you're right. I don't think it was. But he did take a shot early in the first half. And that needed a bit of treatment. And it seems as if it has carried over here into the second half. So we will see. That is something that hampers him. You can see they're onto him very quickly. They don't want him to be allowed to pick up his head and pick his passes. He's limping a little bit here, Claro. You might see Yamazaki need to be taken off in this game.
In that situation, Maharlika looking to exploit him. The players clearly warming up now, as we see. If you want a like-for-like change of sorts, they can put in Brandon Zambrano.
It's more likely to be Audi Menzi, I think, because of him being a center back. And they're going to need that physicality in the middle of the defense. But you never know.
Perfectly reminded me. I want to see the battle the Menzi brothers. we talked about that earlier in the first half. Ibrahim or to Mike Menzi. Kang Villoraza versus Angeles. Owano on the right. 2 targets inside the goalkeeper box. Romeo Opo also opened up. Reinforcements have arrived. But that is also the case for Kaya. Now Maharlika will have to deal with the defense also. Ibrahim, dangerous ball. And Dato once more here. Former national team players connecting right there. Ott receiving that one. Arboledo will get it back from Komaki. Melisa, the captain.
He's asking a lot of Angeles there. He gets there.
Putting in the work. Now it's with Diano. Takes a touch. It's McLeod to the rescue. Ibrahim. Cleared for takeoff here. He has a lot of space to work with. Shoot to Komaki. Jan Melisa clamped him down in the wing. Ibarle. He'd like to take control of this game. It's Kaya starting off this one with a bang when you refer to the game as a whole, because we are just coming off the Christmas and Southeast Asian Games break. Kim, Rilio Raza, rattled off of Diano. This goes to this plays to the favor of Maharlika though, and Park. Here's the battle between Japan and South Korea. There's Yamazaki prevailing. Aurelio Raza appears to be a bit shaken up there. Hard fall after getting tangled up with Jan Melisa.
Space was open on the left side, or on the right side rather, of Park, but he wanted to get it onto his favorite left foot, and he was read like a book by Yamazaki. Shame for Maharlika, there was quite a few bodies inside the box waiting for his delivery.
We are nearing the 60th mark already of this game. We did mention that first 15 minutes in the second half will be vital. Maicon hits it wide to Martini. Sends it. It would have been a different story if Martini had a teammate on the right side.
He's unable to wrap his foot around it.
But this will be a throw in from deep. Tough to deal with, as we know, if you're Maharlika in this situation, coming out of your defensive third. There is activity in the technical area of Kaya. There's Brandon Zambrano and Audi Menzi. Ivan Owano. Jana couldn't get it. Kim will take him on. Yamazaki there to support. Goes right, goes left. Sends it with his left, but it's clearly out.
It's good work from Maharlika, switching it from right to left, creating that opening, but good defending as well from Diano and Yamazaki.
Kaya will just take their sweet time here. Ibrahim now. He's the man piling up the pressure up front as opposed to the wing. Martini versus McLeod. Those two players, well-abled bodies, do play physical.
Some good adjustments, because Rilio Raza was struggling physically with Martini Ray. McLeod seems to be a bit sturdier at the back. And then similarly, Moon Hong wants Ibrahim in more dangerous positions. He wants him more central here and wants to be able to impact the front line.
Probing run from Melisa, hence the havoc here.
Wonderful pass.
Oh, Coach Moon Hong wanted better there, but nonetheless, they get it to Romeo Opang on the right. Gets tangled up with Eric Esso. Casambre keeps this one. I assume in that scenario, it was about to roll out for a corner kick, hence Casambre opted to secure. Play being stopped. And the two potential options we just mentioned for Kaishu Yamazaki are going to enter. Well, I'm curious, of course, who are the two players who will step up for Coach Yu Hoshide?
It's going to be one of the midfielders that's going to come off. So Yamazaki will come off as expected. He's not moving right at the moment. That's not a worry just for this game, but for future matches as well. It's a quality replacement that they're bringing onto the pitch. Audi Menzi. It's going to be Marwin Angeles who makes way.
Player number 8, 4.5 minutes.
Like for like changes being made here by Coach Yoshida and Kaya. But curious, Jing, coming out of this, or the halftime break earlier, did Kaya stay the course or did they make massive changes in reinventing the wheel? Because no goals here, but status quo at the least, which they like. 2-0, lamang sila.
Yeah, I think it's just more of the same for them. And just making sure that they don't allow any silly mistakes to allow Maharlika back into the game. With this substitution that they've made, Maharlika will feel this is the moment, right? Before Zambrano and Menzi really get a grip of the game, can they find their openings? See Ibrahim right away, he's on Odi Menzi. But it's Kaya the other way right now.
Secured by Martini, gives it to Jan Meliza. Takes it from distance, Kenny Balobo there, follow up, Balobo gets it, and that appeared to be inside the box. And eventually secures.
What a great stop from Kenry Balobo. That fantastic Iloilo connection between Martini Ray and Meliza. It was a great ball to get Meliza into a shooting position. A great stop. He's inside the box there when he touches it. So that's not a problem. And that's a poor touch from Komaki, and Balobo was a hero on that occasion.
Yeah, to bring out the volleyball player in him there to get that stop.
Kill block.
So Kenry Balobo for the men's volleyball team.
But Martini Ray continues to impress in that forward position.
The thing with Martini Ray is he's really the natural midfielder. So when they put him up front, he could also operate as that false nine. He's not afraid to do so. And then he just gave us an opportunity like that to his Kuya Jan Meliza. Hard challenge from Ori Menzi.
His first contribution, it's a body check.
What a way to say hello. And this is going to be a free kick. And I am seeing the Menzi brothers matchup. Looks like Eric Esso took his matchup now. And will mark Mike Menzi.
He looks interested once again, Jinyon Kim, but it's a bit further away this time. Hit the target, forced the stop from Patrick Dato on the previous occasion. Not sure going direct from here would be the best option though.
Only the two-man wall, they hit it wide. Baclaros up against Zambrano. The chaos ends with his ball. Now Dato punched out. Still not yet clear. Kim took the shot, but Casambre was at the right place at the right time. He put himself there. Kim once more. We just mentioned him, and just like that, he was on the left. Romeo Opong. Taken.
Oof.
Definitely out from Ebarle.
Oh, not a bad attempt from Dean Ebarle. He's got sweet technique on that left foot, and he's measured it. He's trying to curl it into that far post, and he wasn't too far away.
So if I update my live table here, if Kaya gets to secure this result, they'll move up to 24 points, level with league leaders Juan Taguig. But Taguig have a match on hand and actually prevail on goal difference by 9 goals. It's plus 44 for Taguig. Dato desperate to secure. Kim made him uncomfortable. So it's plus 44 for Juan Taguig in terms of goal difference. Kaya on plus 35. Those are some huge numbers looking back.
It's great to see that there are more contenders now for a top spot. Manila Digger is going to see action a little later on. They're in the mix. Kaya's in the mix. Taguig's in the mix. Cebu is not far away. It's fantastic.
Maharlika need this win though. And if they do lose, they will be vulnerable because Stallion are right below at 14 points and have a game on hand. And then Aguilas, who are playing later against Digger, as we've said, get a chance to just pad that lead of theirs in the standings, or that gap to Maharlika. Well, we did see Kaya's efforts to bring this forward. Martini, combination with Shuto. Kept it in, flicked it back. Zambrano versus Rillo Raza. Eric Esso. As expected, he's been able to contribute in a silent manner here, as we know. In this instance, he wanted more because he took a fall.
No whistle. Players got entangled. Last touch on Eric Esso. Let's have a look at it here. Real Uraza. Ooh, looked like he was late to that. Looked like a free kick. Jonathan Pelayo letting the boys play.
We did see cards earlier, when we recall also in the first half. Intensity still there nonetheless. We'd like to remind you that Sports Tribe is the official match ball of the PFL. And for those who just tuned in, no goals yet here in the second half. The 2 goals of Kaya came in quick succession, courtesy of Martini Ray and Mike Ott. Manzano here alongside Cheng Hamlang. Thank you for joining us at the Facebook and YouTube pages of the Philippines Football League. And here comes this cross. Ibrahim, desperate to keep it in. Not able to do so, of course. And as you got to see, that was on camera. That was caught on camera, the ball. Getting into the bleachers and out.
To a lucky bystander out there on the far side.
Hey, that counts as a home run, okay? I'm gonna grab that ball first, Jing.
Yeah, Sports Tribe donation to a lucky person.
Mike Ott secures. Able to keep it despite of the pressure from McLeod. Diano playing narrow. Takes some touches. Melisa to Mike Ott. And Mike Menzi just got to hit it out. And eventually pinballed over to Kenry Palobo. No changes yet looking back, Jeng, for Maharlika, other than McLeod entering for Eric Giganto.
Yeah, that was at the halftime break. They do have 4 players warming up, so you never know when the changes are going to be.
Because this is the 3rd change already for Coach Yu Hoshide and Kaya FC. And it's Lucas Del Rosario stepping in for Martini Ray.
This one comes as a bit of a surprise for me because Martini Ray has been playing very well. I think he's been bringing good energy. He's been linking up well. He's been a threat, not just in his ability to, potentially hit the target, but he's been really finding the openings for his teammates.
It's not just the goal where he got to contribute, but what you said here, facilitating.
Also, like a very good physical presence, but there seems to be an issue with Del Rosario here.
It's with his socks from the looks of it here. So that sub was put on hold at least for a minute or so, or until the next dead ball. And maybe the shin guards, speaking of shin guards, Menzi took a hit down low. Here's the change now confirmed with Lucas Del Rosario stepping on the pitch. Solid shift for Martini, putting in 70 minutes in, and Lucas Del Rosario will give the energy with 20 plus minutes or so.
I would say yes, very solid. And again, surprised that Shuto Komaki is not the one to come off for Lucas Del Rosario, who also plays on the left side. And Shuto, of course, just coming back fresh from an injury, but it seems his minutes are not going to be managed today.
It looks like there's plenty of faith in Coach Yu Hoshide and what he is able to show to his compatriot. Bakim now, dangerous. He's been getting involved a lot in the second half. Kaya get this one out desperately. Ibrahim will get it now. Snappy ball that was hit to Romeo Opong and just eventually gifts it Dato goal kick. I had to hold that thought for a moment because I thought that cross was actually going to be good somehow.
It's a poor switch from Opong.
Substitution for Maharlika.
And here comes the substitution.
Player number 8, M54.
Back from injury.
Player number 10,
Instrumental for this Maharlika side, ensuring that they tick offensively. Jorel Aristorenas being introduced here for Iloilo Raza.
Aristorenas, the captain of this team, so they hand him the armband. Less than 20 minutes and change remaining right here. Maharlika relatively in striking distance. Kaya unable to just put the cherry on top to somewhat put this lead with beyond doubt. Palobo under pressure from Del Rosario. MacLeod gets it. If they escape, of course, this could be a good reward for Maharlika. Over to Kim. Casambre. And here's Diano to get to stop. Menzi. Oh, Menzi not liking that hit there from his college teammate.
Medyo may parang paiwan ng konti si Janjan Meliza.
Oano here, hit the deck. Referee takes no interest there. Maharlika got to switch a play and come up with this opportunity on the right. Here's the cross. Casambre does well once more.
Much better for Maharlika. They failed to deliver the ball on several occasions when they do get into the wide areas. This is what they need more of. That one was headed away by Kaya, but the fact that you can pressure from those positions is very important from them.
Are you expecting changes at this point in time, given that they haven't been able to get a lifeline?
For Maharlika, it seems they have the most dangerous weapons on the pitch right now. You might see Miyagi a little later on. However, right now, this looks like the cast that's going to be able to deliver it if there is any chance of them getting back into this game.
There's also Earl Japet Pinheiro, who did impress in his time with Digger also, seasons back.
Of course, for Maharlika, you also have to be careful about tweaking things too much, because the solidity of the team is important. And conceding against Kaya here would be a death blow at this moment in time.
Meliza tried to win it from behind. Oano shoots! Just wide here.
Great attempt from Ivan Oano. Got a bit of separation, and you see the confidence from the young man to go and fire that one. Got a hold of it. Better from Maharlika.
They'll need to get those on target, of course. As Meliza's down on the pitch. And we see this from any team in the lead, as we say, as we know. Taking time off the clock with them leading.
It seems to be okay.
Paulo Bugas and Sherwin Basintanan making their way also back to Kaya's bench after warming up.
Fresh legs for Kaya perhaps to finish off this match. Final 15 minutes on the horizon.
Kaya will be down to 10 players temporarily. Paulo Bugas is set to check in also. Seems like he is entering for Meliza. Meliza's right knee is actually taped up heavily. Tato will resume play with this goal kick, and it is Eric Esso now with the captain's armband.
Bugas coming on. Confirmation of that.
Substitution
Beniza makes way.
for IFC Iloilo. Player number 10, John Beniza, is replaced by player number 39.
Kaya did not have to play
Bugas.
a man down temporarily. Came off of Brandon Zambrano, given his clear height advantage. Aristorenas returns it to Park. Time is not on their side here. The goals again of Martini Ray and Maikot, the difference makers so far. Well, I will say this is gearing us up for a finish with high intensity. Confirmation of our goal scorers once more. Also follow us on TikTok _WeArePFL_. Sports Tribe is the official match ball of the Philippines Football League. And now I'm starting to see a bit of that stop and go nature in this game. Much more than the first half. A yellow being issued.
Committed himself to that. High boot on Arboleda. There's been a lot of work rate from that right back position from Kang. The end product just missing at the moment from Bumsuk. Gets in some great areas to threaten. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Moon Hong makes his adjustments as we enter the final juncture of this contest.
Leaves it Maikot now in the dangerous area. Hits it to Paulo Bugas. Will he come up with that super sub effort for them? His ball was hit out for a throw-in. And there's the double change for Maharlika. And Mendoza will enter along with King Miyagi. Tine Barle is one player who will step off. The other being Ivan Owano.
Substitution for Maharlika FC. Player number 20, Dini Barle, is replaced by player number 13, Tristan Mendoza. And another substitution by Maharlika FC. Player number 17, Ivan Owano, is replaced by player number 24, King Miyagi.
Handball called there on Maikot. As expected, Kentaro Miyagi is going to get an opportunity to make his mark. Ivan Owano put in a decent shift here for Maharlika. Will definitely feel he should have scored today. Had a good shot not too long ago, but it was that attempt in front of goal that he really should have converted.
Things getting heated now. We anticipated this. We expected it.
Called for the stamp there, Zambrano. He's above the ball, coming in. It's a painful one for Opong.
And with the changes being made, Mendoza entered alongside King Miyagi. He was born in Lipa. Has overseas experience also. We'll check that one out in a bit also. Confirmation the yellow, Brandon Zambrano. Off we go now. It's Diano driving it for them. Not the same wavelength here as Paulo Bugas though. Aristorenas got this one from Park. Ibrahim trying to slice the defense off of Casambre. The stop though, I believe that was Mendoza trying to get involved. Off of Casambre once more. He'll have to stay as solid as a rock. They want to secure this result.
Ted's got a ball magnet at the moment. Anything into the box. It's being cleared away by Marco Casambre.
This will be resumed at the back by the defending champions. Nine minutes remaining alongside additional time. Menzi. Ibrahim opening up as the option. Ibrahim falling on the ball there. Diano trying to push his luck. We've seen that veteran move from Fahmi Ibrahim a number of times already in this game. Aristorenas. Let's recall, he was inserted earlier as a sub. There's still no signs of any comeback from Maharlika. And it is Kaya managing this 2-0 lead.
They're spending a lot of time in the opposition half, Maharlika, but they're really not threatening too much. Kaya will feel, they wouldn't mind if this is the trend of the game until the final whistle.
Things seem to favor them so far. Romeo Opong. Intercepted by Dato, though.
Better for Maharlika. Again, being able to deliver the ball from the wide area is crucial.
A number of times, Maharlika able to get past the defense of Kaya, but they have to get past that towering presence of Patrick Dato. Komaki just lets this one bounce out.
Similarly, while you wouldn't mind, if you are Kaya, that this type of match continues, you also want to see more from the defending champions. They've lost control of this match in the last 10 minutes or so, and they're allowing Maharlika the opportunity to get back into this game.
Now it's with Bugas. We'll see if they'll be able to change that up given the trends that you mentioned in this game. 7 minutes remaining as Balobo couldn't just get the connection here to their frustration.
Both sides just guilty of a bit of scratchy passing.
And on any other day, passing like that, of course, would just punish you. It was that second goal where Kaya did get to take advantage on that lack of quality of Maharlika's when it comes to passing at the back.
They've tightened things up a bit more at the back, and that's credit to Maharlika. They can look at this and say, it's a scoreless second half. We've come out of the break. We've conceded on a few mistakes, but we've managed to keep the defending champions quiet here for the large part of this second period. Yes, Kenry Balobo was involved in one attempt. Other than that, they've been largely untroubled, right? And that's, for a side that is developing, this is something that you can take a lot of positives from. And you must say they are asking more of the questions in the second half.
The long ball from Casambre. Komaki. Zambrano gives it back to Maicon. Shoots! And a super save here from Kenry.
It's a great stop. Oh, it's trying to get him on his near post there.
Well, that was in the near post. You expected Balobo to get it, of course, but he had to just stretch a little extra.
Strong shot from Maicon. That's what you want from your goalkeeper. Cover that near post. If he beats you in the far post and it's a spectacular strike, it is what it is. That near post has to be covered well. Balobo certainly did that.
Whipped in here, and it traveled in front of the mouth of the goal.
It's going to be a corner kick.
So it must have ricocheted off a Maharlika player. I didn't see much of the trajectory of the ball change, but obviously our referees have the vantage point. Oh, good Balobo.
Balobo come out to claim a ball. Gotta make contact with it. You have to be more assured.
It's with Maikot to give a right-footed service. Off the head of Casambre. He'll try to pounce here. It's goal-bound, but it is wide to be precise. Here's another change for Maharlika. Earl Japet Pinheiro being inserted. That's for offense, which they desperately need this evening.
Substitution for Maharlika FC.
It's been solid defensively. Opong
Is replaced by player number 26.
not as threatening going forward. Wasn't able to find the unlocking passes. He's perhaps not as fluid with his switches of play, but a solid performance from Opong nonetheless in ensuring that that midfield was not overrun by the Kaya players. Great opportunity now for Pinheiro.
And Tato once more stops Fahmi Ibrahim. I believe it is a corner kick though, because that ball went past the touchline. Later on we have Manila Digger and Aguila Sumac FC squaring off. What a shot.
Did it cross the line? Maybe just about.
Still 2-0 here again, thanks to Maikot and Martini Ray. The latter was subbed off. They put in the fresh legs of Lucas Del Rosario in hopes of seeing this one through at the least.
Crowding that 6-meter box. Oof.
I'm not so sure if they did make the connection. That was a promising play though.
Cloud right there at the far post. I'm a fan of crowding the box. It's becoming more of a trend these days where there's a lot more bodies in and around the goalkeeper. I tend to feel that it is a nightmare for goalkeepers to have to navigate so many players from that position.
I've spoken to a number of goalkeepers and they said it feels claustrophobic the moment they have a person inside the 6-yard box. Interesting, of course, to get into their brains. As a shot is denied, Shuto Komaki wanted to make it 3-0. Quickly now they go. Just Pinheiro getting involved before Ibrahim gave that ball. Dato missed it though. Audi Menzi and Martiano were able to clean up and have his back.
Dato's complaining that he took contact on the play. One of the players backed into him.
Arestorenas to the right wing. Low cross. Here we go, we're off to the races. Shuto Komaki trying to get it to Lucas Del Rosario. Taking on McLeod. There's also Mike Menzi in the center. Zambrano takes a touch, shoots! Sails over the bar here. But the referee points to the spot. That means Balobo got to tip it over.
That's right. It was a good stop from Kenny Balobo. It's come at him at a real pace. And he's gotten a touch to it to get it over the bar. Look at that fingertip. Saw how much room Zambrano had. Was able to take a touch to steady himself before firing off that rocket.
Big saves as of late from Kenry Balobo, and court official Rodney Leble confirmed that we have 5 minutes of additional time. And it's Zambrano with the service. Bugas. They're able to break free here. Eric Casso coming up with that stop. bringing out the effort.
It's great anticipation from Eric Eso.
He did get into the path here of Mendoza. Aristorenas, not on target though.
It would have needed to be special from Aristorenas. Eric Eso is feeling the effects of his timely intervention. Oof.
Collision there with Tristan Mendoza.
It was the swing of the leg. It's going to be quite painful for him. Patrick Dato also feeling some effects. He's had a good game today. His first full 90, I believe, after a long break. He's been solid in claiming the ball in the air. He's put in some good stops. Distribution has been good. And that really boosts Kaya's options in between the sticks. Alongside Cortez, it's a very, and Bata, it's a very good selection problem that they have.
The time continues to tick right here. Less than 3 minutes remaining in stoppage time already. Let's see also if Maharlika will have to throw everything forward. But then again, if they score, that's the only time where they get a lifeline. That ball forward from Dato seemed to be unideal.
Too much contact. Ibrahim had gotten the right side of Menzi actually already. If anything, he needed to avoid the contact in order to be able to get his opportunity. Sayang, ang ganda na sana ng pwesto niya.
That's been the game of Maharlika in a nutshell this evening right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. They are on the verge of going 5-5. That's 5 wins, 0 draws, and 5 losses. This opens the door to Stallion again to nab 6 spot from them. We are not even halfway into the season. Looking back again, we are nearing it though. Here's the whistle from Meliton Pelayo. The foul is against Mike Amenzi, but he is still down on the ground.
Maharlika will be disappointed by this, and that's saying a lot. You know, on paper, a defeat against Kaya FC Iloilo is more ordinary than anything else because of the stature of the club that you're facing. But they were in this game, Claro, and the goals that they conceded were poor. And they would feel that they could have easily done better. Now, if they were undone by Kaya's brilliance, that's one thing. However, it was a different story. You can see here Coach Moon Hong upset that the final whistle has been blown. There's one more minute to be played.
About 45 seconds to be precise here.
I was being asked to relax here, but he's certainly got a point. There's time still to play. Well, nevertheless, it is full time now here, and Kaya FC Iloilo will pick up all 3 points, and it's an important 3 points for them. But as we mentioned, Maharlika will be disappointed in this one. They asserted themselves well in this game, Claro.
Kaya now level on points with league leaders Juan Taguig at 24, but lose out on goal difference if we had to break the tie today. But Martini Ray opened the scoring again with that Mike Hod assist, while Ott, the veteran, bagged the goal of his own. And Kaya made Maharlika pay. But in the perspective of Maharlika going back, it's that short lapse of theirs that exposed them.
Is Maharlika FC.
We have the highlights, of course, here in what is action-packed.
In the same way, though, it is the quality of Kaya to be able to take advantage of those lapses that sets them a cut above the rest. And it's a fantastic restart to the season for them. They needed to get 3 points, and they got it here against a tricky assignment in Maharlika. But certainly a notice has been sent to the rest of the league. This Maharlika side is going to be a handful for any side.
And my apologies also earlier. And a correction, this is actually Patrick Dato's second clean sheet, because he also did get to play against Tuloy FC in back the 90 minutes. But great to see him as always in his continuing return right here. A solid performance here, because Maharlika did come up nonetheless with quality opportunities that made sure to test the defense. 2-0 is the scoreline again. Mike Ott and Martini Ray, the goal scorers once more in this action-packed game. But we still have another matchup later on between Aguilas, UMAC FC, and Manila Digger. But before we take it to the ground, of course, we will sign off alongside Jing Ham Lang. This was Clara Manzano to bring you the commentary for this one. Please continue to stay with us.
Congratulations for getting man of the match. What did you think of Kaya's performance today?
No, after the break, it's always hard, and we got the win. It was the most important. The opponent made it hard for us. Need to respect that, and positive that we got the win. But for the next game, we will be better.
Last time against the rival, against Manila Digger, was a loss, but today it was a win. So what was the message from the coaches today?
No, message is always play our style for football. We do our thing, and at the end of the day, we try our best. And most of the time, we want to get the win. And today we did it, and we are happy with it. But we need to move on and keep focused and train to get better.
And last, do you have any message for the Kaya fans?
No, we're always thankful for the Kaya fans and for everybody who's joining us and cheering us for us. And please continue to do that. And thank you very much.
Congratulations.